The following Defending Our America episode is presented without commercial interruption by Sig Sauer.
What it comes down to is war is hell.
Yeah.
Nobody wants war. But if we're going to commit to it, by God, commit to it.
Anyone who wants to win a war, your morals will sink to the level of your enemy's morals if you want to win. You can't have this higher standard and expect to dominate.
I'll disagree with you. It's not your morals, it's your tactics. We do have to keep in mind, and my generation learned this the hard way with a little village named My Lai in Vietnam, and you've all heard of that, I'm sure. So there has to be some rules of engagement to control and keep something like that from happening again.
It was a situation where the guy went nuts, he was crazy, whatever. He was angry, he was upset, he lost a lot of guys, and he was going to take it out on this village.
And basically just went on a killing spree.
This shouldn't happen ever in war, and it should never happen from our side. And it did, but it was other American soldiers that stopped it.
The best side of the American military shone through because the helicopter pilot, and I believe his name was Hugh Thompson, was observing the activities from above, couldn't believe what he was seeing.
And he literally came in, got between American soldiers and innocent villagers who were about to be shot. He stepped in between and said, "You're gonna have to kill me first." So, I mean, extremely brave, and he did what America is most known for.
That took guts. Not just the act of heroism that he did to place himself in harm's way and go try to rescue these Vietnamese, but he knew the difference between right and wrong. He knew that what was happening was wrong. It was criminal.
There was individuals that saw, this is not us, this is not how we operate, and they prevented it from going on further.
It's an unfortunate, terrible part of our history, but it's a history we recognize, you know, and we certainly have learned from it, I think, and it is something I can't see ever happening again.
Our soldiers are different from any other soldiers in the world. I remember seeing a graphic when I was in Iraq, the first tour back in 2004, of the Al-Qaeda and the terrorists in Iraq, and it was a woman and child with the terrorists behind them, using them for cover, shooting an American soldier. And on the other side is an American soldier holding a woman and child behind him as he protects them and takes fire from the enemy.
And just like the Abu Ghraib situation, you know, everybody agrees that was bad stuff, okay? Those guys should have been punished. They should have got their asses kicked, but it should have been done in-house, and it should have been done, gotten over with, put behind us, learn from it, and move on.
I spent a lot of time at Abu Ghraib. I spent over a year in Iraq. I did 3 tours there, 2 with the FBI, 1 with DOD. You know, the conditions there are horrendous, and they were horrendous. But they got worse because of a group of ignoramuses that happened to be wearing U.S. military uniforms, and they decided they were going to take the rules of harsh treatment above and beyond, that did criminally stupid things to embarrass and harm these prisoners. You know, dog collars, naked man piles, electrodes to the genitals, threatening to do things. There's no reason for any of that. It served no purpose other than as a recruitment tool for our enemy. And unfortunately, our media, by making America look like this is a sanctioned thing, like this is what we do when we go overseas and free a nation and shed our blood and our treasury, deplete our treasury to help people in a foreign country. And yet our media and the media around the world portrays that as if that's what America is.
You shouldn't have embedded reporters in the damn military units, okay?
Absolutely.
It shouldn't have been broadcast all over the world for weeks on end, used to still used to stir up hatred against America, and it cost American lives.
Absolutely.
Who do you see going down for that stuff? Like, that thing happens.
Low-level guys.
It's ridiculous. Like, that stupid stuff, childish, we should not be doing that stuff, really doesn't. But in the end...
Somebody who has no idea it even happened that day.
Right, so...
Because you're the leader that let that happen.
That's disgraceful when you have a low-ranked individual getting crushed for that. Like, you're telling me that that person at that rank was making decisions on doing that? Whoever up the chain decides to pass that down and doesn't get held responsible for that, that's disgraceful.
It's that strategic corporal initiative, right? So somebody kind of lower in rank ends up doing something stupid in wartime, and somebody else who's never been trained in that atmosphere at all, but has the authority to make rules, says, well, this is what we gotta do. Add a rule, add a rule, add a rule. Pretty soon your ROE is a phone book, right? And now you're handing that to an 18-year-old and says, good luck, go do great things.
The event itself was extremely unfortunate, but the promotion of it was tragic. I mean, it led to deaths, innocent deaths, on our side and on the side of the Iraqis, because it emboldened our enemy. It was a recruiting tool for our enemy, and when they recruit, they don't recruit for any reason other than to kill more people. So when Al-Qaeda takes that, and Al-Qaeda in Iraq is emboldened, and all of a sudden there's money and men and munitions flowing into Iraq to kill people, it's because of how Abu Ghraib was handled in the media. It should never have happened. And again, it's stopped by Americans, and we prosecuted those that did it, and that's not the norm throughout the world, but in America it is.
To prevent those atrocities from happening again is to have effective leadership, both in your officer corps and in your NCO corps. You have to have people who, number one, understand what their responsibilities are. They have to be given clear and well-defined rules of engagement. And they have to feel that they have the support of not only their leadership behind them, but the country behind them. They know their families support them. They know that the people they fight alongside, that they support each other. But if they don't feel that their government supports them, if they don't feel that their people back home support them, you know, then that's when you're going to have atrocities occur.
Next time on Defending Our America.
The term waterboarding should never have ever been made public.